Alright, welcome to another night of me playing some game while I talk a bunch of nonsense, because that's all I'm really set up to do right now. And for tonight's game, I was thinking, let's switch from the Genesis, because I realized that, you know, playing NES tonight, basically. Another analog system, the NT Noir. Realized it also has a headphone jack, so in my current capacity of doing these videos, I can listen to my game audio without having to fight it going over my mic and all that stuff. I'm working on some long-term solutions to let me break out of those restrictions, but they're not there yet. I don't get a whole lot of time to spend on this. um, so yeah, figured tonight, since I do have another system that slots perfectly into how I'm currently doing things, let's play around with some NES. And it took me a little bit to figure out, wow, which game would I want to play tonight? And then it happened to be that earlier this week, actually, I think I even mentioned this game last week or in one of the previous videos. I don't remember which. But the game also came up in conversation last week with one of my friends. And so I figured, that's the one we'll give a go. And it's one that's very beloved from my childhood, and that is Battletoads. And even though, I've got the cartridge here, and this is actually my original cartridge from when I was a kid. I got this one for my birthday, 6th or 7th birthday. I don't remember off the top of my head, but my uncle, or one of my uncles, decided it was one of those amazing events where instead of him just like getting me a gift or something, he was like, hey, let's take a ride up to Walmart. Took me to the video game section and said, all right, pick out any game you want. I was just like, are you serious? And I wound up getting 2 games, actually. I forget which one I picked out first. But the game was cheap enough at the time that he was like, you know what? Go ahead and pick out another one. So I wound up getting 2 games, Battletoads being one of them, and Ninja Gaiden 2 was the other. And let's be honest, back then, as a kid, shopping for video games, what were you doing? You were picking the game based on the box art, especially in how Walmart had their setup back then, because all the games were like behind the counter inside of a glass shelf. And so yeah, I mean the Battletoads cover looked amazing to me, and Ninja Gaiden 2's cover was also fantastic. I didn't grab Ninja Gaiden 2, and unfortunately I don't have any of my original boxes. Any box games that I have right now are ones that I've reacquired in the past decade or so. That's one of the biggest regrets looking back, is all the games that I bought, or really during the days of these early systems that I was given, I just treated the box as trash. It was just another bit of wrapping around the actual prize, and so I would just tear them open, throw them away, and I just kept the game and the manual. That just drives me crazy looking back on it these days. Especially later on, whenever I got into PC gaming, I was still doing the same thing then. Not as haphazardly as I had as a kid, but I wasn't taking care of the boxes. I wasn't preserving them, even whenever I would keep them to hold different things. And a lot of beautiful big box, PC game boxes. I let them, turn to trash. I hate that, looking back on it. But anyway, this is my original copy. I know it's my original copy because I also forget what year this was, but I remember for whatever reason I had asked for this particular thing for Christmas, and I actually got it, and that was a label maker for whatever reason. And once I got that sucker, I proceeded to go around and label everything that you can imagine. And I don't know if I've mentioned in any of my videos yet. Yeah, my name's Derek. I can't tell you, like, there must have been hundreds of things with this exact, label, just saying Derek on it. It was one of those old school label makers that was sort of like a gun with the big trigger and the round top, and you would click it around to choose the different letters. I got to where I could speed select and type out my name on that sucker in just like a couple of seconds. I was slapping labels on everything. I had on even stuff that wasn't mine. I went around just claiming everything. Oh yeah, this is mine. This is mine. This is mine. What a stupid thing, but it was good times. But anyway, yeah. Ooh, a little bit dusty. This one's been stowed in the closet for a while, actually. Yeah, needs a good cleaning. But anyway, even though I've got my cartridge here, I just pulled it out to, show, hey, Battletoads. Still gonna play with the jailbroken firmware, just loading the game off the SD card, because why put some usage on the cart whenever I can? If I'm playing on a non-actual hardware, I have no. I'm not at all compelled to use other original hardware with it. I save the original cartridge for the original hardware. That's how I tend to do it. So anyway, enough blabbing and preamble. Let's actually get started on this. And I can tell you, I haven't really played Battletoads for a number of years. As a kid, the game devastated. I mean, not devastated. Destroyed me. I actually loved the game, even though I could play the first stage, did great. Stage 2, really fun, did awesome, and then of course you get to Turbo Tunnel and and the bikes, and that's it. That's all the game I saw until I got a Game Genie and I could use level skip codes. And even then, I skipped to all the other levels, and it was like, oh, these are even less beatable than Turbo Tunnel. But it was still fun. And me and my buddy Charlie back then, oh man, we would play Battletoads constantly. We were still just too, I guess, underdeveloped to get the timing, and especially in two-player, the coordination needed to clear Turbo Tunnel. Because even if one of us, got into the groove and we were, working through the walls and blocks and everything, the other one would screw up, and then, just. This is a game where we're gonna let the intro go too, because the other thing, about that in a moment, but to actually beat this game co-op has to be one of the greatest achievements you can pull off. That didn't look very right. I don't remember. Is the cockpit of the car supposed to be blacked out like that? Maybe. I don't remember. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, to beat this two-player? Oh, how do you do that without killing the other player? It's one of those games that actually gets harder with another player. Because one, you've got friendly fire and you can hit each other, which makes it fun in one hand, but when you're actually trying to beat the game, oh, forget about it. And then just, all the instances where one player dying resets both players. Dark Queen, yeah, look at her. Obviously designed to go after the the Princess Daphne market, or the Jessica Rabbit market. Same type of character. And let's be honest, my generation, the boys of our time, we were that market. Because I remember we used to just watch the intro just for that sequence where the Black Queen shows up, and we just like, dude, look at her. Because it's what idiot little dork boys are do. Okay, yeah, about this. Okay, you see how Pimple is like twice the size of the other Toads? Me and my buddy Charlie, we loved Battletoads so much that, it was that thing when you were kids. And, you'd play a video game, and then you'd turn the system off, you'd go outside, and you'd continue to play the game, in, the childhood imaginary games. So we would be playing Battletoads outside, and, based on this intro, and whenever Pimple slides in, how massive he is, we actually, I think I did talk this very same thing in a previous video. So I'm kind of repeating myself here, but hey, now I've got visual aids, so whatever. But I mean, as cool as Rash and Zitz are there, Pimple's so jacked, my buddy Charlie and I, we would just be like, dude, if you could only play as Pimple, it'd be like the game on easy mode. Nothing could stop you. And so we'd always, like in our play game of Battletoads outside, we'd, be like playing as Zitz and Rash, fighting the Dark Queen and her evil forces, and we get into a bind, and then one of us would be like, boom, I'm coming in as Pimple, and just clean house. Alright, let's get this started. Now, I'm relatively confident I'm going to make it through the first stage and the second stage. Okay. Turbo Tunnel. We'll see. Because I never was able to beat it as a kid. But then later on in college, I actually made a real effort to go back and, try to make it as far as I could in Battletoads. And I'll tell you, I actually made it pretty dang far. It took a while. I remember when I finally was able to beat Turbo Tunnel, what an achievement. It didn't take nearly as long as I would have thought as a kid, because, I wasn't a kid anymore. Ooh, pay attention, Derek. But it was still tough. And then, of course, the stages after that. Man, my timing is off with that. And I remember I wound up clearing the snake stage. Nearly killed me. Oh, come on. There we go. But I made it all the way. I mean, I was on my way. And then I made it to the rat race stage. And that one just slaughtered me. Come on. Ooh, yeah. I don't have the timing down anymore. That much is clear. Now, this was always cool. And the first time we realized that you could ride these things, it was just one of the coolest things ever. And it really is an amazing thing. Sometimes jumping across that bridge, the game has some weird hit detection on landing some jumps. I remember, especially in two-player mode, it would always be so obnoxious. I'm trying to remember, where do you have to get this one up? Like, line up the shadows. There we go. And yeah, sometimes the jumps, we'd be paranoid about how we were jumping to make sure we didn't, mess it up. Of course, the game starts you off with such a wonderfully easy first stage, and then and even the second stage is not that hard. And then the difficulty ramp just murders you after that. I don't know, I keep getting distracted by the game, and I forget what the heck am I talking about. Oh yeah, in college, I made up to Rat Race, and then just nothing after that. After that, I decided, I have to take a break from the game. And the break is still ongoing. Oh, no, I wasn't ready. Come on. Oh, come on. Man, those suckers are dangerous. And of course, what was always cool was, I'm not pulling it off right now. But, you know, just seeing how many times you could hit the dead birds. Man, I'm doing terrible at it right now. Jeez. Well, get ready. And those, I forget what those enemies are called, but they're so annoying. Until you figure out, oh, you can just wipe them out like that. Ooh, I messed it up. Well, see, I'm not dividing my attention very well right now. And then, of course, you know, my buddy Charlie and I, we loved. Oh, it's so satisfying when you get both of them at the same time. We love Battletoads so much, and then later on, when some of the later games came out, you know, Battletoads and Battlemaniacs, even Battletoads and Double Dragon, we were so excited. And then, you know, Battletoads and Double Dragon, it's an interesting game, but as both a Battletoads and Double Dragon fanatic as a kid, it, you know, it never felt right to me. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That's how they get you. And of course, right at the end. Alright, we're going to see how this goes. Now, once I get on the bike, I imagine that my commentary is really going to shut down, but we'll see. And daughter's kind of wiggling. Come on, girl. Let's actually try to sleep through a night for once. But yeah, then, you know, Battletoads and Battlemaniacs, it just didn't really cut the mustard for us either. I mean, it was kind of, it had the big sprites and everything. Ooh, oh man, I can't believe I let these guys get me. Yeah, I knew I was going too slow there. But, you know, Battletoads and Battlemaniacs, it starts out seeming kind of cool. But it's not actually that compelling to play. And then you get to, like, where they're trying out the different gameplay modes and everything again. Like, you know, the bikes and stuff. And even the bikes, see. I mean, I knew I'd messed that one up. But still, it's annoying. Alright, here we go. Before I get on this, let me actually finish this part of my anecdote. But you know, you'd get on like the bikes and stuff in those games, or it was like the bowling pin. You were on the puck or something in Battlemaniacs, and it was a lot easier. But it was lame, to be honest with you. That's what it was. It was just lame. Alright. Let's see if I can still do this. Maybe not first try. Got 3 lives left. We'll see what happens. And then, being such a huge Battletoads fan back then, I remember I was... Yeah, really bad timing there. Come on, Derek. Multitask. But being such a huge Battletoads fan back then, it was, there was this one Thanksgiving out at my grandparents', just like every Thanksgiving, the family gathers out there. And usually they'd be watching the football game or something, but it must have been after or before that. Come on, pay attention. I actually got control of the TV for a moment. And all of a sudden, there's this Battletoads cartoon on. And I was just like, whoa, what is this? And sure enough, there was a pilot done for a Battletoads cartoon. Only ever the pilot produced or released. Only shown on that one Thanksgiving. And I managed to catch it on TV. And, I mean, it's not a good cartoon. Even back then, I recognized it. Well, this is kind of crap. But it didn't matter because, hey, it was Battletoads. Oh, these guys. And I remember the first time we ever saw like those ramps in the sky. Oh, come on, Derek, pay attention. And Charlie and I were like, oh, that's BS. How are you supposed to do that? But yeah, the cartoon was not great. But again, it was Battletoads. It didn't matter. And yeah, I went to school like the next day or something. And I was like, guys, because it was me and Charlie that were primarily, you know, the ones that loved Battletoads. But I had other friends that were kind of like, okay, yeah, Battletoads, whatever. And you know, I told all my buddies about. Oh, come on, Derek. Again, I have a hard time splitting my focus. And I told all my buddies about it, and they were like, "Oh, that's amazing!" But then, like, the cartoon never aired again. It was never on TV, and so I was never able. Oh, dang it! I was never able to like demonstrate for them. They never saw it or anything, so it just became like this myth of this cartoon that, hey, I said it existed, but they never knew anything about it. There wasn't any internet back then. They couldn't look it up and verify it. They just knew that, hey, you know, Derek says he saw a Battletoads cartoon. Oh, I remember this part just murdered me as a kid. Sure enough, it's murdering me now. Okay, come on. I'm making progress. If I do manage to clear this on this video, it's about as far as I imagine I'll make it, because I don't think I can beat the next stage again. It's been because every few years. Oh, see, again, I don't know how some people do this business of playing video games competently while talking. It's just like it's not working for me. And what the heck was I even saying? That's the other thing. It's like I'll then get distracted by the game, and I'm like, what the hell was I talking about? Or sometimes I don't have to get whatever distracted by the game to have to ask myself that question either. Oh my gosh! Yeah, this is going well. You can tell this is going to be a real good run here. But anyway, every couple years, I had to fire the game up and just do the turbo tunnel, clear that. So I'm not completely out of touch with this one. It's been a few years since the last time I did it. But I not since college have I bothered to really try to play past that. So I obviously remember the fourth stage, but I don't remember much about how one successfully clears it. Oh, and as for that Battletoads, pilot cartoon, you can find it in decent enough quality on YouTube. There's like I think it might even be like officially released on there or something. You know how like some of these old cartoons are getting like sanctioned releases on some channels and stuff? It might be one of those cases, I don't know. Either way, there's a pretty decent version of it that you can actually find and watch on there. If you just search for it, it'll turn up. Whew, I didn't think I was going to make that one. Come on, give me an extra life, because I'm going to need it. Now, I have not actually watched the cartoon since Thanksgiving Day. I did just recently download it off of YouTube to put onto my MB Media server, because that was my Christmas gift, my big Christmas gift. This year my wife and I, we got each other big things, and that was mine. And so I've been setting it up this year, and I'm kind of like doing, oh my gosh, content updates on it each month, because it takes a while to rip and encode DVDs and especially Blu-ray. And I'm kind of like keeping a lot of the content that I'm putting on there a surprise for my wife, so we can kind of have fun with a little bit of a reveal each month. And oh my gosh, alright, we'll try one more time and we'll see what happens. If I can manage to not completely butcher getting to the bikes this time, maybe we'll fare better. I can tell you, if I don't clear this tonight, expect a return to this at some point. Because dang it. I'm gonna beat this sucker again. Maybe not tonight, but eventually. Ah, really, dude? But anyway, so like the content update that I'm doing for next month, I have to make sure I'm being extra quiet here, because just in case sometimes my wife will get up to go to the bathroom or get something to drink in the night or something. I don't want to risk her overhearing what the big plan for this next month is, but it's video games themed. There used to be a very reliable trick for sticking this landing each time, and I'm not doing it right. It was like you line up with these, or maybe it was just below. Anyway, better than last time. So yeah, it's going to be a bunch of movies, TV shows, anime that are based on different video games. And so, I downloaded the Battletoads episode off of YouTube, so I could throw that in there as well. Which is, what led me to rediscover it on that it is on YouTube. Which I guess is another reason I've been thinking about Battletoads lately. Whew. Too much. And really, there's a lot of stuff based on video games that even I wasn't aware of. There is, especially with anime. A lot of the live-action movies you're aware of, even the animated ones and stuff. But I don't watch much anime these days. But like back in college and late high school and stuff, I watched a lot of it and was familiar with a lot. And some of it comes from that era, I guess you could say. But there's a lot of anime for games back then that I didn't realize existed. Like, I didn't know there was an Arc the Lad anime. That's cool. I knew about the Star Ocean one. I never watched it because I still need to play Star Ocean Second Story, and I think it's based on that one. And for any of this stuff, I'd rather, consume the source material before I do derived material. Come on. Yeah, okay. Oh, come on, Derek. Don't mess up. Easy stuff. Okay. This is the part that used to murder us. This is where me and Charlie got stuck. Come on. Forgot about that. Was like a warp or something back there, wasn't it? Whew. And there you go. See, and that's what drove me crazy when I finally beat this in college. It was like we had gotten that close to the end. But we never could get past that really fast part. It was just, we couldn't do it. Alright, so next game over, we're calling it. And it might not take long, because I really don't remember how to play this stage. I don't remember the hazards. Crap, did I need that? Oh, come on. Lovely, I'm getting my ass kicked by a block of ice. I don't want to mess this up. There we go. Ah, and then I die to it. Wonderful. That's what you want, is to then restart the stage too. Wonderful. Okay. Yes, do need that. Alright, come on. Watch, I'm probably gonna need this stupid bit of ice. Oh, come on! Come on, give me some flies. One fly. That seems about right. Ah, and of course, thank you, Rare, for... Done ya. Not gonna be a long playthrough at this point. You notice I've stopped talking about anything else because I'm having to actually really pay attention here. I can't autopilot this at all. I don't remember any of it because all the games I'm choosing for making these videos of this nature are ones that I'm familiar enough with that oh no, okay, that I at least have some chance of being able to. There we go. Alright, good. Oh! Is that it? Was that my last one? There we go. You know, they're games that I stand some chance of being able to play without completely losing my focus in them. And it's been so long since I played that stage. I was trying to be really careful because I knew once I was done with that life that, you know, I was quitting, so... And that was probably part of my problem. I was probably just being too cautious instead of just going and seeing if maybe the old muscle memory would take over instead of thinking so much about it. Because that stage is actually not that difficult once you learn it. I remember that. Alright. Well, it's been fun, I guess. I think I mostly just rambled about Battletoads this entire time. And really, that's not so much my intention. I guess, to just talk about the game that I'm playing, but at the same time, I don't really know what my intention is. I'm just sort of, again, I'm just turning on the camera and making myself do this, to produce something at least once a week to, again, get some momentum and eventually get to the kind of content that I'm purposefully interested in making. And I am trying to work on that right now, but again, I don't have a lot of time for this. Like during the week, I basically don't get to do any of this, because where I've sort of set up the camera and the display I'm using in the system and everything is usually where my work laptop sits. And so during the week, it's a little bit too much of a hassle to move my work laptop and then put all of this, only to have to change it back around in the morning and stuff. So it's basically weekends, and then I only get dead middle of the night. Like right now it's 2:15 a.m. After my daughter goes to bed. And thankfully she has stayed down this entire video. I think this is the first, recording session that she has actually not woken up and crying and me having to go settle her down. So that's lucky. But anyway, I was trying to keep this video to around 30 minutes. I'm at 36 minutes now, and now I'm just rambling and making it run over. So I'm going to end things here. Good night. And see you again next week for whatever the heck I do. I don't know what it'll be, but hopefully it'll be good.